Friends, if you want to watch super hit movie, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in English, then you must like this for part 1. If you are visiting channel for the others, forget to subscribe. Let's the stars video. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a 2014 American superhero comedy film based on the characters of the same name created by Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman. A reboot of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film series. It was directed by Jonathan Liebesman and written by Josh Applebaum, Andre Nemec, and Evan Doherty. The film stars Megan Fox, Will Arnett, William Fichtner, Danny Woodburn, Abby Elliott, Noel Fisher, Jeremy Howard, Pete Ploshek, and Alan Richson, with the voices of Johnny Knoxville and Tony Shalhoub. The plot follows the Turtles who, with the help of their new ally April O'Neil, face the evil Shredder and his Foot Clan, as well as protect their New York City home. The film was announced shortly, but Turtles co-creator Peter Laird sold the rights to the characters to Nickelodeon in October 2009. In late May 2010, Paramount Pictures and Nickelodeon Movies brought Michael Bay and his Platinum Dunes partners Andrew Form and Brad Fuller on to produce the film. Liebesman began negotiations to direct in 2012. The screenplay went through numerous rewrites, with Applebaum, Nemec, and Doherty ultimately getting final credit. Principal photography began in March 2013 in Tupper Lake, New York, and production concluded in August 2013. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles premiered on July 29, 2014 in Mexico City, and was released in theaters on August 8, 2014. The film received generally negative reviews from critics for its screenplay and characterizations, while its performances, action sequences, and visual effects were praised. Despite this, it became a box office success, grossing $485 million against a $125 to $150 million budget, becoming the highest-grossing film in the franchise, as well as the highest-grossing film from Nickelodeon Movies. A sequel, Out of the Shadows, followed in 2016 to slightly better reviews, but failed to match the first film's box office gross. Plot: April O'Neil, a local reporter for Channel 6 Eyewitness News in New York City, investigates a crime wave by a group of criminals called the Foot Clan. At a dock at night, she sees the Foot raiding cargo containers. After an unseen vigilante attacks the thieves, April notices a symbol left behind. April's supervisor Bernadette Thompson and her co-workers are oblivious to her story. Later, while covering a charity event thrown by Sachs Industries, April expresses gratitude to the company's CEO, Eric Sachs, who was her late father's lab partner. Frustrated by the vigilante, the Foot Clan's leader Shredder has the Foot soldiers take hostages at a subway station in order to draw him out. April, at the scene, becomes a hostage herself. 4 mysterious figures arrive, take out the clan, and free the hostages. April follows them to a rooftop, and is shocked to see that the vigilantes are anthropomorphic mutant turtles, causing her to pass out. When she regains consciousness, they advise her not to tell anyone of them. As they leave, April hears Raphael and Leonardo's names. April returns to her apartment and remembers Project Renaissance, her father's science experiment, which involved 4 turtles named Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, Raphael, and a mutated rat called Splinter. Unable to convince Bernadette of the turtles' existence, April is dismissed. Her co-worker Vern Fenwick drives her to Sachs' estate, where she confides in him about her discovery. Sachs believes her and reveals that he and April's father had been experimenting on a mutagen created to cure disease, which was thought lost in the fire that killed her dad. At Splinter's behest, the turtles bring April to their sewer lair. Splinter explains how April had saved them all from the fire and freed them into the sewer. The mutagen caused the 5 of them to grow and develop humanoid attributes. Splinter took on the role of their father, using April's father as an example. After finding a book on ninjutsu in a storm drain, he proceeded to teach himself. Then the turtles, the fighting style. When April reveals she told Sachs about her discovery of the turtles, Splinter informs her that Sachs was practically raised by the Shredder and works with him. Then, Shredder and the Foot soldiers attack the lair, defeating Splinter and incapacitating Raphael while the other turtles are captured. April comes out of hiding, and she and Raphael plan to save the others. At Sachs' estate, he has the turtles' blood drained in order to create an antidote to a deadly virus that Sachs hopes to flood New York with. believing he will become rich from people seeking his cure. Raphael, April, and Vern storm the estate and free the other turtles. The group then escapes the compound in pursuit of Sax. On a radio tower in the city, Sax and Shredder plant a device that will flood the city with the virus, while Sax is preparing to convert the mutagen into a healing serum. Sax reveals to April that he killed her father. April and Vern subdue Sax in the lab, while the turtles are battling Shredder on the roof. During the fight, the tower's support beams collapse. As the turtles try to keep it from falling and infecting the city, April confronts Shredder with the mutagen. In the struggle, the tower collapses, and the turtles pull April onto it with them, while Shredder falls to the street and is captured by the police. Believing they are about to die, the turtles confess their secrets, while Raphael gives an impassioned speech about his love for his brothers before they land harmlessly on the street. They vanish before the humans find them and return to the sewers, where they give Splinter the mutagen and he begins to recover. Sometime later, April meets with Vern, who tries and fails to ask her on a date. The turtles appear in a special modified turtle van, and Michelangelo accidentally blows up Vern's new car with a rocket. As the police respond to the explosion, the turtles leave, but not before Mikey tries to serenade April with "Happy Together" by the band The Turtles, much to his brother's annoyance and April's amusement. Cast voice actors and motion capture: Pete Plosek, motion capture, and Johnny Knoxville, voice, as Leonardo, the leader and oldest member of the Ninja Turtles. Jeremy Howard as Donatello, the most intelligent member of the Ninja Turtles. Alan Ritchson as Raphael, the strongest member of the Ninja Turtles. Noel Fisher as Michelangelo, the most childish and youngest of the Ninja Turtles, who has a crush on April. Danny Woodburn, motion capture, and Tony Shalhoub, voice, as Splinter, a mutant rat who is the adoptive father and sensei of the Ninja Turtles. Live-action Megan Fox as April O'Neil, a reporter for Channel 6 News. Melina Weissman as young April O'Neil. Will Arnett as Vern Fenwick, April's co-worker, who has a crush on her. William Fichtner as Eric Sachs, CEO of Sachs Industries with ties to the Foot Clan. Tohoru Masamune as the Shredder, the leader of the Foot Clan. 6. Whoopi Goldberg as Bernadette Thompson. Mine Noji as Karai, a member of the Foot Clan. Abby Elliott as Taylor, April's roommate. Taran Killam as Jim McNaughton. K. Todd Freeman as Dr. Baxter Stockman, a scientist that works at Sachs Industries who is briefly seen in flashbacks. Paul Fitzgerald as Dr. O'Neill, the late father of April O'Neil. Chance Kelly as Mr. Rivetti. Derek Mears as Dojo Ninja. Kevin Eastman as himself, credited as Dr. Production development. In October 2009, following the news of Nickelodeon purchasing all of Mirage Studios' rights to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles property, Nickelodeon announced plans to produce a new film through corporate sibling Paramount Pictures with an expected release date sometime in 2012. In late May 2010, Paramount and Nickelodeon had brought Michael Bay and his Platinum Dunes partners Andrew Form and Brad Fuller on to produce the next film that would reboot the film series. For the script, the studio originally hired Art Markham and Matt Holloway to write the film. A year later, the studio turned to writers Josh Applebaum and Andre Nemec to rewrite the script. In February 2012, Jonathan Liebsman began negotiations to direct the film, beating out Brett Ratner. Later in March, Paramount pushed back the film's release date to Christmas Day 2013. In early March 2012, Bay revealed at Nickelodeon's 2012 upfront presentation that the film will be simply titled Ninja Turtles, and that the turtles would be from an alien race. News of Bay's creative change was met with criticism from within the fan community. In response to the announcement, actor Robbie Rist, who voiced Michelangelo in the first 3 films, wrote to Bay accusing him of sodomizing the franchise. Rist later remarked that he could have been out of line since Bay makes more money than he does. In response to the feedback, Bay issued a statement asking fans to calm down since a script had not been revealed. His team was working closely with the creators and would include all the elements that made them fans to begin with. Both Brian Tochi, who voiced Leonardo in the first 3 films, and Judith Hoag, who played April O'Neil in the 1990 film, have voiced their support towards the creative change. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles co-creator Peter Laird expressed his thoughts on the change, asking fans to take Bay's advice and wait until more of Bay's plan is made available. Laird also stated that he felt the ill-conceived plan could be a genius notion, as it would allow fans to have the multitude of bipedal anthropomorphic turtles that they have been asking for. He would point out that while the concept of a Turtle Planet backstory made for a great run-of-the-mill science fiction story, it had no real place in the Ninja Turtles universe. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles co-creator Kevin Eastman stated that he had been invited behind the scenes of the film and concluded that he was officially on board with the project, and that, although he could not say much, he believed it to be awesome. Via Twitter, Corey Feldman, who voiced Donatello in the first and third films, voiced his support for the film, saying that he loves Bay's remakes and he is eager to reprise his role. In response to the backlash, Liebsman stated that he was glad to hear about the fans' response, since he and Eastman had been locked in a room working on ideas that, from his own perspective as a fan, everybody would love. While he did not confirm whether or not Bay's comment did represent the film's premise, he did stress on the ooze itself and its background in the original comic, reminding that the ooze was the product of alien technology. In regards to how the turtles would be rendered, Liebsman would not say exactly what visual direction would be taken, but he did state that he enjoyed Weta Digital's work in Rise of the Planet of the Apes. He also pointed out that the film was not to be exclusively about action, but also to focus on brotherhood, friendship, and responsibility. Bay posted on his website explaining the title change, stressing that nothing had changed regarding the turtles. He also said the reason the title was shortened was a request by Paramount to make the title simple. He continued that the turtles were the same as fans remember, and regardless of the title change, they still act like teenagers. He urged everyone to give everybody who was involved a chance, as they had the fans' interest at top priority and would not let anybody down. 25. Eastman revealed some more information about the film, stating that April would not be 16 years old like in the 2012 cartoon series. He feels Ken Watanabe would make a great Shredder. He would like to bring Reyes back as a foot lieutenant, and martial arts-wise, they are looking at Fist of Legend and The Raid. Redemption. Eastman called it easily the best turtle movie yet. Kevin Eastman stated that the movie is creating its own story, but has to be true to the source material, or else they will get murdered. In August 2012, an early version of the script, dated January 30th, titled The Blue Door, and written by Albaum and Nemec, was leaked online. It featured major changes to the origins. The turtles hail from another dimension that consists of turtle warriors. Splinter is an alien from the same dimension as well. Shredder is Colonel Schrader, a government agent who is secretly an alien who can grow blades from his body. The Foot Clan is just the Foot, an elite Black Ops unit led by Calder Schrader. Casey Jones is an 18-year-old security guard amateur ice hockey player that finds the turtles and is the focus of the film. April is also 18 and is having relationship troubles with Casey because she is moving to New York City due to an internship at CBS. Raphael is the comic relief instead of Michelangelo, and Michelangelo falls in love with a turtle woman from his home planet. A cease and desist order was sent by Paramount Pictures to a website that was hosting the script. Peter Laird read the script and commented on his blog that all true TMNT fans should be grateful to the new powers that be that they did not allow this wretched thing to go any further. In response to The Blue Door, Bay stated that the draft had been written before he and Platinum Dunes joined the project and was promptly rejected sometime before. The filming started in April 2013 in New York. The studio pushed back the film's release date until June 6, 2014, and a new writer, Evan Doherty, was brought on board, 39, but Paramount postponed the release date again to August 8, 2014, in order to avoid competition with family-friendly films released in June as well as one of Paramount and Michael Bay's other releases, Transformers: Age of Extinction. Casting Megan Fox was cast as April O'Neil in February 2013, marking her first collaboration with Bay since her remark comparing him to Adolf Hitler. Bay had confirmed Fox was back on good terms with him as early as April 2011. Jessica Biel had expressed interest in playing the part. In regards to Fox's casting, Laird commented that he felt there were better choices to play April, but that he would prefer not to get too worked up over the issue. Alan Ritchson, Pete Plosek, Jeremy Howard, and Noel Fisher were cast as Raphael, Leonardo, Donatello, and Michelangelo respectively the following month. In early April, Will Arnett was cast in a role that was being kept secret until leaked photos revealed that he had been cast as April's cameraman and rival, Vern Fenwick, 49. Soon after that, actor Danny Woodburn joined the cast as Splinter. In early May, William Fichtner was cast in the film as a lead with iconic stature in the Turtles mythology, marking his third collaboration with Bay following Armageddon and Pearl Harbor. His character was revealed to be named Eric Sachs, an anglicized version of Oroku Saki, the Shredder. At this point in production, Sachs was intended to be the film's version of the Shredder, but that idea was subsequently abandoned in favor of casting actor Tohoru Masamune as an authentically Japanese incarnation of the character following widespread whitewashing accusations. The movie underwent reshoots to change this element of the plot, with Sachs being changed to the Shredder's adopted son, although the film's tie-in video game would retain Sachs as the Shredder. Also in May, former Saturday Night Live star Abby Elliott was cast in the film. Also, Whoopi Goldberg appeared on set, portraying Bernadette Thompson, a female version of Bern Thompson. William Fichtner revealed that Bebop and Rocksteady would not be appearing in the film, who appeared later in the sequel. Abby Elliott played April O'Neil's roommate, named as Taylor. Other actors Johnny Knoxville and Tony Shalhoub joined the film to dub Plosek and Woodburn as the voices of Leonardo and Splinter respectively. Filming principal photography commenced on March 22, 2013, in Tupper Lake, New York. Shooting began in April in New York City and at Jones Beach State Park in Montauk on Long Island, New York, under the code words 4 squared, 4SQ. On April 20th, the film was renamed Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, 63. Michael Bay retracted comments that the Turtles would be aliens. Early set photos were made public showing the Turtles actors in black and gray motion capture suits, complete with life-size turtle shells, with each actor wearing armbands and accents of their corresponding Turtles' signature color. Cinematographer Lula Carvalho, who was invited to work in the film during production of the 2014 remake of RoboCop, described the process as demanding much imagination and participation of the visual effects supervisor, given that despite their presence on the set, the actors would effectively be replaced by computer-generated creatures. Production for the film wrapped on August 6, 2013. Additional filming occurred in January and April 2014. According to co-star Alan Ritchson, who played Raphael, he expressed displeasure with various production issues during filming. At first, Ritchson was not sure about playing Raphael because he did not wish to play a motion capture character, but the promise of career advancement by producers at Paramount and the thought of pleasing his son, a huge fan of the franchise, convinced him to accept the part. The TMNT actors were then not given the same special treatments as their live-action co-stars Megan Fox and Will Arnett, and often seemed to be mistreated and afterthought by most of the producers, including Michael Bay and Paramount Pictures, during and after filming of both movies, not even allowing many opportunities to do press for the picture, and were not invited to the premiere as promised, and instructed them to not give press interviews while claiming they, the Turtles, were the ones refusing to give interviews, but denying saying they wanted interviews. Ritchson personally emailed the late Brad Gray many times about the situation. Alan did not want to return as Raphael after having an unhappy experience making the first movie, but was bound by his contract to do so, and then was promised it would not happen again on the sequel, and then will be giving interviews for the film sequel and even made appearances at the film sequel's premieres. But nothing much changed during filming the sequel either. Visual effects. The visual effects of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were handled by Industrial Light and Magic, who had previously worked with Michael Bay and Nickelodeon, doing the special effects for The Island, the Transformers film series, Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events, The Spiderwick Chronicles, and the animation for the 2011 film Rango. To make sure the digital turtles had more nuanced facial expressions, the technicians employed a new motion capture system that captured the actors' faces with two high-definition cameras, which captured roughly 1 terabyte of data per day. Along with a more realistic design, the effects artists wanted the Ninja Turtles to be charming, intimidating, and individually recognizable. Thus, each had a distinctive body figure resembling their personalities and physicality. According to effects supervisor Pablo Hellman, Donatello is more like a basketball player, Raph is more like a football player, and Mikey is a very short Messi and plays soccer. Music. Main article, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Score. The film's score was composed by Brian Tyler. The soundtrack was released by Atlantic Records on August 5, 2014. Prior to that, a single to promote the film and separate from the album titled Shell Shocked by Juicy J, Wiz Khalifa, and Ty Dolla $ign, and featuring Kill the Noise and Tyler, credited as Mad Sonic, was released on July 22, 2014. The release date was moved around several times until it was set for August 8, 2014. The film premiered on July 29 in Mexico City. Premiere events also occurred in Los Angeles and New York City. 82. On September 12, the film was released in IMAX 3D for a 1-week limited engagement. Marketing. A teaser trailer for the film was shown at CinemaCon on March 24, 2014, before its public release on March 27. The trailer reached over 31.4 million views on YouTube in its first week. On April 13, the first TV spot for the movie was released. A second version of the teaser trailer was released on April 30. Footage of the film was shown at Cine Europe with an introduction from Megan Fox. Playmates Toys produced a new product line of toys based entirely on the film, including action figures, vehicles, and roleplay gear. Nickelodeon Consumer Products also announced a complete merchandise lineup of movie-based products that will be available in all major retailers from July 2014 through the holiday season. On July 7th, Pizza Hut announced a new advertising campaign for the film, which included the return of the chain's Cheesy Bites pizza, social media contests themed around the film, and a television advertisement featuring the new movie incarnations of the characters. 4 motion posters of the Turtles were released, and new TV spot debuted that day as well. An extended behind-the-scenes featurette was shown after the 2014 Kids' Choice Sports Smorgth. An extended TV spot debuted the following day. Paramount promoted the film on July 24th at 2014 San Diego Comic-Con. 5 new TV spots were released that day as well. The music video for the song Shell Shocked debuted on July 28th. Pentatonix released a new song titled We Are Ninjas and a music video as part of the promotion for the film on August 4th. Controversy. In Australia, a poster was released which featured the 4 turtles jumping from an exploding skyscraper as a promotion for its September 11 release. The poster sparked controversy due to the film's release date and the resemblance to the September 11 attacks. Paramount apologized and removed the poster. Home media Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was released on digital HD on November 25, 2014, and was released on DVD and Blu-ray 2D and 3D on December 16, 2014. The film topped the home video sales charts in its first week and achieved the highest ratio of disc sales to theatrical ticket sales its first week in stores. It retained the top spot on the home video sales chart in its second weekend. Overall, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was the 8th best-selling film of 2014, with 3.6 million units sold and earning a revenue of $79.8 million from home video sales. The film was made available to MGM Plus on December 17, 2014. The film was released on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray on July 25, 2023. Reception box office. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles grossed $191.2 million in North America and $293.8 million in other countries for a worldwide total of $485 million, against a budget of $125 million. Deadline Hollywood calculated the net profit of the film to be $81.3 million when factoring together all expenses and revenue. It is the highest-grossing film in the Turtles franchise, as well as the highest-grossing film produced by Nickelodeon Movies. On its opening day, the The film grossed $25.6 million, including $4.6 million from Thursday night showings. In its first weekend, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles opened in first place with $65.6 million, which exceeded Paramount and box office analysts' predictions of a $40 to $45 million opening and achieved the fourth highest weekend debut for the month of August, after Guardians of the Galaxy, The Bourne Ultimatum, and Rush Hour 2. The movie remained at the number 1 spot in its second weekend by grossing $28.5 million, down 56.5%, but slipped to number 2 for its third weekend, grossing $16.7 million, down 41.4%, as Guardians of the Galaxy reclaimed the top spot. The film led the foreign box office during the weekend, lasting from October 31st through November 2nd, 2014, by grossing $34.7 million, $26.5 million coming from China. Critical response. On Rotten Tomatoes, the film has an approval rating of 21% based on reviews from 163 critics, with an average score of 4.210. The site's critical consensus reads, "Neither entertaining enough to recommend, nor remarkably awful, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles may bear the distinction of being the dullest movie ever made about talking bipedal reptiles." On Metacritic, the film has a score of 31 out of 100 based on 33 critics, indicating generally unfavorable reviews. Audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film an average grade of B on a scale of A+ to F. Sandy Angulo-Chen of The Washington Post gave the film 2 out of 4 stars, saying while this reboot is fun, it's also forgettable and occasionally infuriating. 128. Joe Neumeier of the New York Daily News gave the film 0 stars, saying even youngsters may wonder why any hint of charm or fun has scurried away. Those new to the franchise may withdraw their head into their neck, turtle-like. Rafer Guzman of Newsday gave the film 2 out of 4 stars. Rougher and slightly funnier than the 1990 original, but still harmless junk at best. Peter Howell of the Toronto Star gave the film 1.5 stars out of 4. Not much of an effort is made to differentiate the personalities of the Turtles, who all frankly look as grotesque as a Terry Gilliam cartoon. Nicholas Rappold of the New York Times said, "Attached to this movie, the title no longer sounds zany, it looks like a series of keywords." Mark Olson of the Los Angeles Times said that there is something half-hearted about the entire film, as if those behind it were involved not because they wanted to make it, not because they should make it, but just because they could. Kyle Anderson of Entertainment Weekly gave the film a C+, saying, "Two brief thrills only shine a harsher light on the film's laborious pacing and cringeworthy one-liners spilling from the maws of the ninja teens." Nancy Chernin of the Dallas Morning News gave the film a B, writing, "The Turtles, engagingly voiced by Alan Ritchson, Noel Fisher, Johnny Knoxville, and Jeremy Howard, look terrific, and the best part is that the film has heart." Justin Lowe of The Hollywood Reporter gave the film a positive review, writing, "Liebsman relies on his genre film resume to keep events moving at a brisk clip, and the motion capture process employed to facilitate live-action integration with cutting-edge VFX looks superior on screen." Justin Chang of Variety said the film is neither a particularly good movie, nor the pop-cultural travesty that some were dreading. A.A. Dowd of the AV Club gave the film a C+. What the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles lacks is not fidelity, but a spirit of genuine boyish fun. The sense that anyone involved saw more than a very specific shade of green in the freshly digital scales of these 30-year-old characters. Soren Anderson of the Seattle Times gave the film 1 out of 4 stars. If ever there was a movie that should not have been made, this is that movie. Drew Hunt of Chicago Reader wrote that the light, comedic tone is weighed down by unimaginative pop culture references and half-witted one-liners. Bill Goody-Kuntz of the Arizona Republic gave the film 2 out of 5 stars, saying, "It's just kind of a mess, as unfocused and immature as the 4 mutant turtles at its core. Stuff happens, stuff blows up, and this is probably a good time to mention that Michael Bay produced the film." Alonso Duralde of The Wrap gave the film a negative review, writing, "Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a movie that takes its characters and its premise seriously until it doesn't, and that operates at 2 speeds, tortoise, ponderous, and hare, head-spinning." Adam Graham of the Detroit News gave the film a B. There's enough turtle power to please kids and fans of the original series. Stephen Rea of the Philadelphia Inquirer gave the film 2 out of 4 stars. The kind of cliched misfit crime fighters versus demented villains scenario that Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird happily parodied when they came up with the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic books way back in the 1980s. Tom Russo of the Boston Globe gave the film 1.5 stars out of 5, describing the repartee, as ever, is weak. Even with all the extra layers of digital detail, it's still tough to keep these 4 straight. Cliff Lee of the Globe and Mail gave the film 1.5 stars out of 4, writing, "For having gone to the trouble of making a self-descriptive movie called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, its producers seem ultimately unsure about its most basic concept." James Berardinelli of Real Views gave the film 1.5 stars out of 4. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles doesn't so much provide brainless enjoyment as it pummels the viewer into submission. Shell-shocked is a reasonable description of the experience. Chris Cabin of Slant Magazine gave the film 1 out of 4 stars. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles only leaves one with the dim afterglow of forced normalcy, of a film so overworked to ensure mass-market appeal that it loses the charming oddness and loose goofiness that has allowed these characters and their frothy appeal to endure. Video games. Activision released a Nintendo 3DS game developed by Magic Pockets based on the film on August 8, 2014, to coincide with the movie, in which William Fichtner's Eric Sachs, an anglicized version of Orokusaki, is depicted as the Shredder, as in the original cut of the 2014 film, prior to reshoots, changing Sachs into being the Shredder's adoptive son for the film's theatrical release, following post-test screening criticisms of whitewashing. 149. A mobile game also based on the film, was released on July 24, 150. Sequel main article, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Out of the Shadows. Noel Fisher revealed in an interview that all 4 of the Turtle actors have signed on for 3 films. 151. Liebesman and Fuller have confirmed that Casey Jones as well as Bebop and Rocksteady will appear in the sequels. 153. 154. There were also plans for Krang and Dimension X in the sequels as well. 155. Shortly after the release of the film, Paramount announced that a sequel will be released on June 3, 2016, with Michael Bay returning as producer and Josh Applebaum and Andre Nemec coming back as screenwriters and executive producers. Fox and Arnett returned in the sequel, along with the character Shredder. Dave Green, director of Earth to Echo, directed the sequel. Several new actors appeared for a sequel. Victoria's Secret supermodel Alessandra Ambrosio was cast as herself and a love interest to Vern. Also Los Angeles Clippers and Charlotte Hornets players DeAndre Jordan, Matt Barnes, J.J. Redick, Austin Rivers, and Spencer Hawes made cameos in the film. Stephen Amell has been cast as Casey Jones. Tyler Perry was cast as Baxter Stockman, and Brian T. portrayed Shredder in the sequel. Gary Anthony Williams and Stephen Seamus Farrelly were cast as Bebop and Rocksteady respectively. Brittany Ishibashi also replaced Noji as Karai in the sequel. Johnny Knoxville did not return to voice Leonardo in the sequel as he was not asked to reprise the role. Instead, Pete Ploshek did both motion capture and voice. If nothing else, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles reminds us that nostalgia is often used as a mandate for spectacularly lazy filmmaking. Yes, I too loved the action figures, video games, cartoons, and previous live-action commercials. I mean movies. But a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film that's trying this hard to pander to my childhood love of pizza, karate, and talking animals shouldn't be this imaginatively challenged. We're talking about a film where exposition is dumped over viewers' heads in every other scene, action scenes are loud and uncoordinated, and every joke feels like it was scripted hastily, in the vain hope that punch-up writers would later rewrite them. Instead of a fun and unchallenging limp down memory lane, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is an energy-sapping exercise in futility that will leave you begging for less. In Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, an inquisitive reporter discovers that you can make an inherently absurd premise even more hard to swallow with a convoluted backstory. Channel 6 news anchor April O'Neil, Megan Fox, wants to be taken seriously as a journalist, so she investigates a citywide crime wave involving gun-toting bad guys called the Foot Clan. She becomes even more determined to follow this story after witnessing a mysterious vigilante stop a foot robbery by chucking an industrial-sized shipping container at the bad guys. She then discovers that this crime-stopping Hulk isn't working alone, and that both she and her own late father have ties to this shadowy superhero that go as far back as 1999. So April spends the first half of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles establishing how she's related to the Ninja Turtles. Disciplined Leonardo, voiced by Johnny Knoxville, hothead Raphael, Alan Ritchson, goof-off Michelangelo, Noel Fisher, and geek Donatello, Jeremy Howard, and soft-spoken but totally unsuspicious philanthropist Eric Sachs, William Fichtner. 50 minutes later, conflict ensues. The fact that April's search for answers comprises half of the film's plot suggests that the film's creative committee got so wrapped up in using her to relate their origin story's plot that they forgot what viewers came to see. This is where the film's shock and awe maximalism, i.e., everything bigger for no good reason, starts to make a soul-crushing kind of sense. You don't need to do much to impress viewers if you can immediately overwhelm them. So these turtles are bulletproof, 6-foot-tall mountains of biceps and quads. Likewise, Foot Leader Shredder, Tohoru Masamune, looks like a samurai-themed death metal band leader with an Edward Scissorhands fetish. And Turtles leader Splinter, voiced by Tony Shalhoub, looks like a cross between Old Man Groucho Marx and a freak show Pinhead, with a 3-pronged Fu Manchu mustache. Thanks to the film's ill-advised use of post-converted 3D projection, you can get an up-close look at their freakish appearances. Likewise, the film's action scenes are all so frenzied so that director Jonathan Liebesman, Battle L.A., Wrath of the Titans, didn't waste time on choreography, humor, or anything more than frantic motion. This is okay for an introductory fight scene when April can't clearly make out the turtles beating up the Foot Clan on a dark subway platform, but it doesn't fly during a downhill car chase that involves a Humvee, rocket skateboard, and electric grappling hook things. Characters are routinely shot out of focus and barely even covered competently, unceremoniously drifting in and out of the camera's frame. The same is true of the film's winking jokes, joyless attempts to acknowledge and muscle past the film's inherent ludicrousness. This isn't a new tactic, but in previous cartoons, Michelangelo, the group's comic relief, was at least funny. Here, Mikey's best scene is the one where he leads the group in beatboxing before a climactic, i.e., overstuffed and noisy battle. But Fisher's just not naturally charismatic, and the material he's given to work with is a joke without a punchline. Look, hip-hop turtles, so much more wacky than martial artist turtles. This is a gag for people who don't have the attention span for gags, just as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is nostalgia bait for people that only need an excuse to regress. You already know whether or not you're going to like this film, and that's kind of the problem. Distributed by Paramount Pictures, release dates July 29, 2014 in Mexico City, premiere August 8, 2014 in United States, running time 101 minutes, country United States, language Eng, $125 to $150 million, box office $485 million. So guys, this is their view of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie and some information about it. How do you like our today's video? Please let us know by commenting, and if you like this video, please like it, share it, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.